And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Live, Laugh, Laugh podcast. Back with Garry again.
Hello. Sorry, I'm looking up stuff real quick.
Got a lot to talk about this week. It is Super Bowl week. We were going to have a NASCAR race to talk about, but that didn't happen yet. We'll get to that a little bit later. The NBA trade deadline is upon us. We're going to see what the Pistons did, as well as a bunch of other fun stuff. And the Olympics are coming up, so we'll talk about that a little bit too. But before we do that, I have trivia today for Garry. So,
Yay.
here we go. Can you name all of the MLB affiliates that the Lugnuts have had in their now 30-year history? Hint, there are 5 of them. 5 teams.
Okay, I'm going to do the easy ones real quick. Because I know this, actually, which is very weird. I know this. Number 1, Kansas City Royals. That was their first affiliate. Right now, you got the Athletics, of course. I'm going to call them the Oakland Athletics because they're not technically called the Las Vegas Athletics right now. So, screw you, MLB. Then the Blue Jays.
Wait.
What's another one? What?
Correction. There are 4. 4.
There are 4?
There are 4.
Okay. Still, I know these. You got the Royals, you got the Blue Jays, you've got the Athletics, and the reason why I know this last one is because if you go to Cooley Law School Stadium, you can actually see it on how it was an affiliate because of the ivy in the outfield. Chicago Cubs.
That is correct. Garry gets correct trivia. That might be our first correct
It is the first
question.
ever.
Oh, since we did this. Yep, they were Royals were first from 1995 to 1998. So technically, it was the old version of the Lansing Lugnuts that they carried over. Then it was the Cubs from 99 to 2004. And then it was the Blue Jays from 2005 to 2020. And now it's currently the Athletics since 2021. So, I'd like to point out that the Lugnuts won their 2 championships, once with the Royals and once with the Cubs.
And maybe we could go back to the Cubs.
Yeah.
I know it's never going to happen now. There's South Bend, but, kind of.
Even just the Blue Jays. Go back to the Blue Jays. That was fun.
Well, now it's the Vancouver Canadians, which I can see why a little bit, just because, Canadian money and,
The what?
Vancouver Canadians.
The Vancouver got a baseball team?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
What the fuck?
Hold on, let me look it up for you. Give me a couple seconds.
1, 2. What the fuck? Oh, it's a
They're like Vancouver Canadians.
Oh, okay.
Cool. They were a team since 1951.
Interesting. Okay, well, we're going to start with the other sports topics today, mostly because NASCAR was supposed to start on Sunday. If you saw last week's episode, you'll know that we were going to talk about the Clash today, because that was supposed to happen on Sunday. Well, per fun and games with NASCAR races, the weather got shitty, and Winston-Salem, as well as the entirety of North Carolina, has been going through some pretty bad snowstorms as of late. So the Clash did not happen on Sunday. They pushed it to Monday. It did not happen on Monday. They pushed it to tonight, actually, at the time of recording this. Actually, soon. The Clash will be starting soon. In fact, the time of this video going up. And that sucks. Because Wednesday night this week is the only day of the week that I have to work late. I was really excited to watch the Clash. But I won't. I'll be able to catch some of it. I'll probably be able to catch the end of it, but not a lot of it, which sucks.
Don't worry. I got you, fam. I will watch it for you. I will stay up and watch it because I have nothing to do.
Yeah, we know, Gary. So we'll talk about that next week as a result. Some other NASCAR news that's come out. Luke Fenhouse is going to be making his O'Reilly Series debut at Daytona. And other silly season news, surprising news, Dario Franchitti will be returning to NASCAR in the Truck Series for the race at St. Petersburg. He's going to return to racing with Tricon. He's 52 now. Remember, he has been retired from racing in general since 2013 after a bad crash at the season finale of IndyCar in Texas. So this is pretty interesting and pretty cool. I'm excited to see him come back. I don't think he'll do a whole lot, but it'll be cool to see him come back. I'm glad he's coming back. I'm surprised he's coming back. After a bad crash like that and being out for so long, I'm surprised he wants to return, especially on another street course too. St. Petersburg is a street race. It's a little weird, but it'll be cool to see him back out there. There's a new documentary coming out titled We've Lost Dale Earnhardt 25 Years Later. The cast of people that they chose to do for this is a little weird because most of them were either not alive or were not racing when Dale Earnhardt died. I think the only one that was even like really there. I mean, there's a few people that make sense, but then there's Ryan Blaney. Why is Ryan Blaney in this documentary?
I feel like if they would have put Ken Schrader, the man that saw Dale Earnhardt dead in the car, should have been on it.
I have a hard time believing they did not ask him, and he probably said no. Because why would you want to relive that trauma?
Yeah.
But it still looks pretty good. I'm sure it will be good. I don't know. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. But
or the guy that actually said we've lost Dale Earnhardt. What led up to what he's gonna say, and to all these people.
I think it is Mike Helton. I think Mike Helton is in it. I don't know.
Oh, he is? Okay.
I
didn't
saw
look
the
it
trailer.
up.
I think he is. I think I remember seeing him in the trailer. I could be wrong, but I don't remember. So that's coming out soon. Another news. We're going to talk about the Epstein files today. Because guess who showed up in the Epstein files? Brian Vickers. Oh boy. Now really this shouldn't be too surprising. I feel like out of most people that you would think of being on the Epstein files, in the Epstein list, Brian Vickers should be pretty high on confidence for people that would be on the list because his wife was well known to have ties with Epstein prior to all this shit going down. So it's not surprising that Brian Vickers' name also has popped up there. It's a little creepy because I saw Brian Vickers race many times in person, and to think I was so close to a guy that is on this list is really freaky. But
You know what's weird about that? Is that when I went to Michigan to meet Joey Logano, of course we went down. I wanted to see Jeff Gordon. Of course, you know how fans get to reach out their hand, right?
yeah,
Guess who was the first to high five me?
who?
The man who's now on the Epstein files.
Am I?
Then it was Kyle Busch, and then I felt better.
That true?
Because then he won the race.
Not true. But yeah. So it's not too surprising. Fuck that guy. I'm glad he's gone. And we'll move on. Don't really have any other sports topics. I mean, other than the fact that the Winter Olympics are going to be starting soon, in a couple of days here. I don't know. We're not gonna do like super in-depth Olympics coverage over the next few weeks while it's going on. I mean, we might. If news is slow, maybe we'll do it. I don't know. We'll touch on some of like the highlight moments. We'll see how many events the US wins or whatever, but I don't care that much about the Olympics, and so I really don't care too much to follow it. We'll definitely touch on it, but there's just not a lot of buzz around the Olympics this year either, which, are we really surprised? I think a lot of people are a little oversaturated with Olympics amid political shit too, but I don't know. I know it's happening. I just don't really care to Okay, thank you for telling me that you had to take a dump, Gary. Anyway, I'm not super excited. It'll be fine. We'll preview it a little bit here and there, but not a whole lot. That's all for the other sports topics that I had. Moving on to baseball. Got a couple of actually, something from Garry in there, so we're not going to touch on that yet. And we got stuff to touch on. We're actually going to jump up to football because I need Garry back for the rest of it. Not a lot of football stuff to go over. We did already preview the Super Bowl this weekend, so not going to do a whole lot of talk about that again. Nothing's really changed as far as the outlook of the teams. But it still should be a pretty good game, so I'm pretty excited. The only other did have a couple of things otherwise as far as head coaching hires go. A couple of new head coaching hires have been announced. The Browns found their new coach, Todd Monken from the Ravens, as the Ravens defensive coordinator, is now the head coach of the Browns. Have fun sucking.
Like they always do.
True. Garry, how's your dump?
I had Chinese buffet today. It didn't work well with me.
That's true. Realest thing ever. In the other, and then the Cardinals found their new head coach too. Mike LaFleur, brother of Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach. Sadly, the Cardinals and Packers do not play each other this year unless they somehow meet in the playoffs, which if the Cardinals make the
Won't
playoffs,
happen.
If the Cardinals make the playoffs, that would be astounding. That's really all the football news I had to go over. So we'll jump back down to baseball. Just a couple things baseball related. Still getting close to spring training, so we cross into the month of February. That's good. But the Tigers announced that, we knew that they terminated their contract with FanDuel Sports, so there's not going to be any FanDuel Sports Detroit coverage anymore. They're going to be, the majority of their games are going to be on MLB Media in 2026.
Cool, more games I can't watch now.
MLB Media, let's look it up real quick. Maybe you never heard of MLB Media. I'd never heard of it before this. Pretty much, it's just MLB TV. What do you know that is? Subscription based. Woohoo! I might get it. Only because if I get MLB TV, I can watch more games than just the Tigers, and so make it more worth it. But I don't know. Probably not good, but just wait for the nationally televised games, or hell, maybe I'll go to a game or two this year. Probably want to go to at least one game. I don't know. That was that. Now, Gary, you had the other piece of news coming out of the Midwest League.
Yes, it was announced today. I will have to get a video popped up because if you guys know about the Great Lake Loons, I'm assuming you guys do. If you've seen, our trip to the Great Lake Loons versus Lansing Lugnuts, you would know that they're part of the Midwest League. Now, they're trying to become the Erie Sea Wolves, technically, if you think about it. And what I mean by that is, you know how they turned into the Mammoths for one day? They're now called the Michigan Dogmen for one day. Do you want to see their jerseys?
What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean pulling Erie Seawolves? What?
The Erie Seawolves last year made a team for, I think, a game or two, where they were known as the Erie Mammoths. Purple and stuff like that. Just, they changed their name. Well, now, if I can find, maybe I go to Twitter. But, anyways, yeah, that's what they're doing. Now, do I like this? No. Just because, one, you could have did anything better.
So is this, wait, I'm confused. Is this a permanent change, or is this like a temporary promotional thing?
This is temporary.
Oh, okay. Because the way you worded it was like, oh shit, they're like rebranding to a new team.
No.
Oh.
But what they're trying to reference is, you know how that thing called the New Jersey Devil? It's a little fantasy thing that people made up.
Right.
So, great. In the state of Michigan, we have a little fantasy thing of a dog man, half dog, half man. And, he's out at night. Well, here's the hat for it, which I would wear it.
It's a pretty cool looking hat. If only they played on Halloween, that'd be a great Halloween promotion.
I think that's what they're probably going to do if they make the playoffs.
Play on Halloween? Gary, the season ends for the Midwest League in end of September, even the playoffs.
I mean, near the playoffs is what I'm saying. Or they do a Halloween night.
They could do that.
because they do Christmas Day in July or whatever in Lansing.
Yeah,
But
they
like,
could do
yeah, the
that.
Dog Man, you know, but it looks decent. I just think it looks more like the Erie Mammoths, which
Is that
were purple. They had the moon around it. They had the forest theme. I mean,
is that necessarily bad though?
because you're copying a team that did better.
Well, I guess when you word it that way.
But you know what? If they like it, so be it. Don't listen to what we have to say about it because we aren't the ones that tell you what to do.
What? That's totally what we do. We are the sayers of all. Oh,
Are you sure?
that is weird. Look at what I'm doing with my eyes right now. Damn, holy shit. All right. Anyway, that's all the baseball stuff we had. Um, Move on to hockey action this weekend. MSU hockey was on the road at Penn State. And they pulled off some big dubs. They first beat Penn State in a massacre, 6-3. And then in the second game of the series, which was an outdoor game at Penn State's football stadium, and it looked really cool. But MSU got the last laugh there too, winning 5-4 in overtime to get off the sweep. Huge sweep. Penn State was right behind them in the conference standings. That's another top 5 sweep. So they're MSU looking back to form near the end of the season here. They sit 1 point behind Michigan for the Big Ten standings, but they have 2 extra games left than Michigan does, so more chances at points. MSU has, they have,
You having trouble there?
oh yeah, they have Michigan this weekend. Michigan, the last Michigan series is this weekend. One game in Ann Arbor and then one at LCA for the duel in the D. And then MSU's got Notre Dame and Ohio State at home, followed by Minnesota on the road. So they should really go 7-1 at minimum over those final 8 games. Now Michigan has the series with us, like I just said. Then they have Penn State at home and Wisconsin on the road. And then they get that final week of the season off as a bye week. So, Michigan, really, I'd say they probably could split Penn State. They're going to split, I think they're going to split either Penn State or Wisconsin. So either way, MSU should have enough ground, enough time to gain ground. That's if they win the games that they should. Remember, they did split Ohio State when they played in Ohio State, which was bad. But so that's going to be an interesting race for the Big Ten as we get closer to playoff time. Speaking of playoffs, talk about the Red Wings. Up next,
Playoffs. You want to talk about playoffs?
Playoffs. The Red Wings lost to the Capitals 4-3 in a shootout. At home. I know this is on the road. As Patrick Kane set the all-time points record by a U.S. hockey player. Congratulations, Patrick Kane. But the Red Wings lost in a shootout. Because why the fuck would they not? I like to highlight a really wild goal that happened, by the way. The Red Wings were down 3-1 in this game with like just under 2 minutes to go. And they scored back-to-back goals. The second of which came off of what was supposed to be a pass. And it ended up deflecting off of the camera hole and going in the goal. Which was wild. Absolutely wild goal. And it didn't matter because Washington won anyways. But we did take a point. So there's that. And then the Red Wings just had a home-and-home series with the Avalanche. They lost the first game of the series at home 5-0, but then they rebounded and beat the beat them 2-0 in the second game of the series. So went 1-1 there. The Red Wings have one more game before their Olympic break. It's going to be tonight, actually, at Utah, and then they are going to be off for a few weeks. So we'll talk about that game next week, and then we'll not have to talk about the Red Wings for a few weeks. The Red Wings did also sign Ben Chariot to a 3-year contract extension. So that was good. And Paul Woods announced that he is retiring after 40 years as the Red Wings radio broadcaster. He will retire at the end of this season. So hopefully he gets to go out with some playoff games. So I think that'd be cool. But great career. 40 years, damn. That's a long time.
He also played for the Red Wings.
Damn. That's one hell of a career, I'll tell you what. All right, Gary. We're on to the K-Wings.
My favorite. So, January 30th. Now, before this, let me just say it was Toledo and K-Wings each had one win. Toledo just said, fuck you. We're taking game 3. As Toledo demolishes the K-Wings 5-1. And then
we
January 31st, the one that we were there.
Yep, we got to go.
People say when you're in Toledo for the walleye, you're going to get heckled. And, it's going to be hard. It's a hard place to play. And it was. Trust me, Tyler can agree that it was loud.
It was loud. I wouldn't say you got heckled, though.
No, but some people do.
But it was loud, for sure.
Now, usually Toledo would demolish that team, but our K-Wings dominated, slapped every bit of the piece, but then I got stressed because they scored with a couple seconds left, and I was scared that I was going to have to walk out of this arena being hopeful of myself because of this team.
Okay.
K-Wings, I swear to God.
I'd like to clarify, they didn't really dominate. So, talk about the whole experience. So, we went down to Toledo.
Yes.
We saw 2 sporting events, the second of which was this game, K-Wings at Walleye. Now,
right.
Me personally, I didn't have much stake in the game because while I do like to root for the K-Wings because Garry is a fan, the Walleye are Red Wings affiliates, so I really did not care too much what happened. I was just hoping for a good game of hockey, and a good game of hockey we did have because K-Wings went up 2-0 in the first period. And then they did jack shit on offense for most of the rest of the game. And,
which is usual.
They played pretty good defense, though. It was 2-1 after 2. And then it was kind of a stalemate for a while. There was a huge fight. They dropped the gloves, dropped the sticks, and just dropped the helmets. Just went at it. You don't see those a lot anymore, but we saw it there. And it was a great fight. Then it was kind of a stalemate for a while after that. Late in the third period, though, the K-Wings got the goal that, iced the game to go up 3-1.
Which, we were right near that goal, by the way. When you see the highlights, if you guys look up the highlights, Toledo, K-Wings, 1-31. When you're near that last goal, we were like right across from the goal net, almost. Maybe a little bit farther down, but
yeah,
we were close. We didn't know if it went in or not. So at first, my instinct is like, oh, you got to be kidding me, it didn't go in. But then when I saw everyone had their sticks up for the K-Wings, I'm like, wait, did that go in? What happened was it hit the middle of his legs, and then it was just sliding and sliding and sliding, and then it went in.
Yeah, so, that was a crazy goal. at the end there. Then the Walleye scored with like a couple of minutes to go, so it's 3-2. Then they go empty net, and there was a shot near the end of the game. I don't know how it did not. I don't know how this puck did not go in the net. It went like up top, bounced off the top of the crossbar on the net, and then hit the ground, and the momentum just did not work in its favor, even though 9 times out of 10 it would. That was crazy. I cannot, like, the crowd was actually cheering, thinking that it went in, and then it didn't.
Tyler and Noah have never seen me as stressed as I was.
No, you were
at
stressed
that
out
game.
as fuck.
I love this K-Wings team. It's one of my first ever professional pro teams that I have ever been to, and I am a diehard. Once I'm a diehard, I will always stick to being a diehard. And let me tell you, like I was telling them, the only 2 times I get stressed out is this goddamn team and Michigan State. Only 2.
Yeah, Garry was stressed the fuck out. He was like, his head was in his hands. He was like sighing the whole time. It looked like he was like freaking the fuck out. He's like, by the way, Garry was like the only K-Wings fan in the building. Everybody else was either a neutral fan or a Walleye fan. So everybody else is going batshit crazy at the end of the game. And meanwhile, you got Garry just sitting in his chair, going just like trying to hoping to God that the pain would end. But the K-Wings held on. K-Wings held on and won the game 3-2. It was my first time seeing the K-Wings win in person. They moved to 1-1 in my appearance, which is cool.
And then February 1st, they lost the Bison in overtime 3-2. So that was basically, fun. Anyways, now
way to bring the mood down
for the standings, because the standings have changed in the Central.
Blah, 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 blah.
Then I'll show you what I got at the game. So first, of course, the Toledo Walleye. They have 56 points. Then the Comets are second at 52. Bison are at 46, tied with the Fuel at 46. Now, that would be your top 4. That would be your playoff for that standings. Then are the K-Wings in 5th, tied with the Cyclones in 6th with 39 points. And then you got the Iowa Heartlanders, who can't do crap. So they're at the bottom with 28.
True.
Practically right now, I know there's a lot left, but let's just say season's over for the Iowa Heartlanders. Unless somehow, some way they win the whole rest of their games. But you know what? If the K-Wings could somehow, some way, get that 4th place position, cinema. Just cinema. I will be happy, because remember, next year will be the last time they're at Wings Event Center. I want to see one more game or 2 at least at the Wings Event Center before it goes down. So, but that's it for K-Wings.
Gotta say, the Huntington Center, home of Toledo Walleye. Now
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful arena. So the vlog is already out from the events, from the day. There's another event we went to. What the fuck? Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Anyway, there's a vlog the vlog came out, so you can check that out, kind of see what we were talking about in this. And there is going to be a review coming out of the Huntington Center in a few days. I think this weekend they got it set to come out. So you'll get to see more in-depth thoughts about that. But yeah, like Garry said, it was a beautiful arena. Comfiest seats that I've ever sat in at any sporting event, maybe ever. Comfiest chair ever. It was so comfy. Really, really well designed. Great food.
I was told the Toledo fans were mean, but the people behind us were so nice. Except the one lady that hated me for some reason. I think it was because of the K Wings
No, okay,
jersey.
so there was something really funny that I didn't notice at the game, but I noticed when I was putting the vlog together. There was next to you, to your right, was a couple, and the lady was sitting 2 seats down from you. And every time that I panned the camera over to like look at you or like look at the action on that end of the arena, every time this lady was staring straight into the camera lens, and she was the only one that was like staring at it. It was like there's something going on down on the other end of the ice and people are watching. She's turned around looking at my camera, and I don't know how I didn't notice it at the game, but it's like every time in the vlog I was putting it together. It was crazy.
I think it was because of the fact that she thought we were like showing off that they scored or something like that, or something of those lines.
I mean, I think it was because I was filming, but I wasn't filming her. I was filming the game. Whatever. Nothing came of it, but I think it was just really funny in retrospect when I went back to review the footage. But yeah, that was one of my favorite arenas that I've ever visited for anything ever. That was really, really fun. Now, Gary's going to show
There's
what he
some,
got.
yeah, because as you know, looking at the footage of the vlog, you could not see shit.
You could not. We should have just filmed it in the Taco Bell parking lot, but we forgot to.
Anyways, here is what I was trying to show you that I bought, which is really cool because they did go to the playoffs in 2023, and I think that was also the year that the K Wings went to the playoffs. So I have something from the K Wings and I have something from the Toledo Walleye. Sadly, the Toledo Walleye destroyed them, but oh well. Now this one. As you can see, I'm not showing the front yet because this one is what Jeffy got me. And it's all the teams, and I've realized that I can get the other 3 pucks for only $20 of all the other divisions. So my goal this year is to at least get the other 2 divisions for the ECHL. Now I have to wait because the Utah Grizzlies are not going to be a team next year. They're going to be called the Thunderbirds, which is also weird because I just noticed, if you look there, the Bison are on there. The Bison are in their 2nd year. So this is an updated version. So, lucky.
Lucky Garry.
But then we also, of course, had to get the pin of the walleye.
I got that same pin. I didn't.
30
I
CHL
don't have the
pin.
pin with me, but that's the same pin I got.
My 30 CHL pin. I've got one of the Arendak Thunder. And then, of course, the one that everyone loves, K-Wings. Which, in my opinion, the K-Wings one is bigger than the other 2 because the K-Wings are better. But then from the college, got a Toledo patch.
Shh, we're getting to that. We're gonna pivot to basketball after some. We're gonna pivot to basketball stuff after some breaking news that just dropped. We're gonna go back to football for a second because what's sports without football taking up the spotlight? So, we're gonna go, but this is for the Lions. So we're gonna go back to, let's go back to that loss of the Steelers about a month ago or a month and a half ago at this point. Do you remember that fan that got DK Metcalf all riled up and got him suspended? Well, that fan's back in the news, and he's suing DK Metcalf for defamation. $100 million lawsuit. What? $100 million defamation lawsuit. He claims that he was physically harmed and was falsely accused of making racist comments towards Metcalf. In the lawsuit, he names Metcalf, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ford Field Management LLC, Chad Johnson, Shay Media LLC, and All Time Sports LLC as defendants. What? Holy shit. This is crazy. There's no way that Metcalf ends up paying the lawsuit, right? Like, this is going to go to court, right?
It has to.
What the fuck, dude?
To be honest,
there's being like harassed, and then there's doing this. Yeah,
to be honest, I don't want this dude to be a fan of ours. At this point, screw him. Go away. No one wants you.
Well, like, the thing is, there's no way, unless you get the witness of the people that were sitting right next to him, there's no way to know exactly what he was saying. Because obviously he's not going to say that he was making racist comments. And DK Metcalf is not going to say that he wasn't making racist comments. So you got to get outside opinions. And I don't know if are they going to go back and, like, contact the people that were sitting next to him at the game and, like, say, hey, can you come to court and testify? The fuck? Also, what the hell? What the hell is Chad Johnson doing in this fucking lawsuit? What the hell are all those LLCs doing in this lawsuit? We're gonna get the fucking owner of Ford Field. We're gonna get the fucking Pittsburgh Steelers president in this bitch. What the fuck? That's gonna be a crazy, crazy lawsuit. And I can't wait. Get the popcorn ready. Anyways, just one pivot. That was it for... Now we're back to basketball. It was a rough week for MSU basketball. The men's team lost to Michigan at home. Boo. They lost 83-71. Got off to a horribly sluggish start in the first half. They did rebound in the second half and actually had the lead at one point. About 5 minutes to go in the game, they had the lead. And then they kind of sucked ass for the remainder of the game and lost 83-71. Boo. Really funny thing that happened at the game. During one of the Michigan's free throws, some kids in the end zone pulled out a Sharon Moore mugshot flag that they made, and then it got confiscated. Oh, it was so funny. Oh, it was beautiful.
What they should have done was make a Sharon Moore, but with his head on Mr. Brightside.
That would have been funny too.
I swear to God, at the next Michigan game, if a Michigan State fan has it, you have taken my idea, and I swear I will sue you. Just like how that Lions player is suing DK Metcalf.
Defamation, $100 million.
Yep.
Women's team, they beat Purdue 86-65, and then they came home and also lost to Michigan. Boo. Lost 94-91 in overtime. MSU had had the better team for most of the game. They just made way too many mistakes, way too many turnovers. But tied at 81 late, Michigan had the ball with 4 seconds to go. They inbounded it, was a turnover. MSU got the ball and took a half-court shot for the win, and it went in and out. It was really, really hard to watch because that ball should have went in. And then Michigan went on a 10-0 run to start overtime. MSU couldn't climb out of it. What really killed them was Grace Van Sluten, our star player, missing 3 free throws in overtime. But we won't talk about that. Despite the loss, well, MSU men's moved down 3 spots in the AP poll after their loss, and despite losing as well, the women moved up a spot. They're up to 12 now, which is kind of crazy. Alas. Pistons. Lots been going on for the Pistons. They beat the Nuggets on the road 109-107. That was without Nikola Jokic, so it's a little concerning, but they still won anyways. Then they lost to the Suns 114-96. Then they beat the Warriors 131-124. That was after Draymond Green sat on the bench for most of the second half, and Steph Curry went down with injury, but still got it done. And then they came home and beat the Nets 130-77. The 53-point win is the largest margin of victory in franchise history. Really cool stuff there. Currently as well, the Pistons are playing the Nuggets again. Now they're at home.
28-25 right now.
Oh yeah. Nearing the end of the first quarter, it's 28-26. Nearing the end of quarter number 1. Pistons are up.
And I'm going to watch it right now.
So that's going on. That's not going to be done by the time we're done here, so we'll talk about that game in full next week. It's also the NBA trade deadline today at the time of recording this. And the Pistons made a trade. There's been talk forever about, like, the last, months, it feels like. Oh, what are the Pistons going to do? They need to get rid of this guy. They need to trade. They need to do this. Big splash, big splash, big splash. Personally, I didn't think they needed to make a trade. They had a good team. Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, Cade, Isaiah Stewart, a lot of other supporting casts doing some really good stuff this year. They were fully healthy. I didn't think they needed to make a trade. Alas, they made one. Jay Ivy's gone. So this is a multi-team or a 3-team deal. So here it is. The Pistons are trading Jaden Ivey to the Bulls. Great.
And Mike Conley Jr.
Mike Conley Jr. is getting traded from the Timberwolves to the Bulls.
No. Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley Jr. to the Bulls, and Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric to the Pistons.
Yes. Inevitably, that's what's happening. The Pistons also got a 2026 first-round pick that they swapped with the Timberwolves. So really, the Pistons trade away Jaden Ivey and come away with Kevin Huerter, Dario Saric, and a first-round pick next year. On paper, this isn't a terrible trade. Jaden Ivey, injury prone, hadn't been producing a lot. And you get a first round draft pick, which is not bad. It's going to be good. It's going to be utilized. You get a couple guys that are supposed to be pretty good shooters to help with the shooting. That was the big flaw with this team, has been their shooting. I don't really like the trade. Because like I said, I didn't think there needed to be a trade at all. The thing with this trade that I fear is that team chemistry is going to be killed because these two new guys are not going to mesh well. and team performance is going to tank. That's what happened with the Tigers, and I think it's possible it could happen here with the Pistons. Now, on that other side, Jaden Ivey being traded is probably the least impactful trade that possibly could have happened. Jaden Ivey he'd been hurt for part of the season, hadn't been producing a whole lot, so you're not losing a very big contributor. But even the smallest of movements can be the biggest of changes, and so I am hopeful that this will work out for the Pistons. I think that draft pick, I'm sure will work out. The rest of it, I don't know. But only time will tell. And they still have a lot of good pieces around them. Let's not look back on this in a couple of months and be like, this is where the Pistons went to shit. Hopefully not. But that was that. No other big trades have been made at the time of recording this, if any others do happen. Oh, Jaren Jackson got traded, I guess. There was that. He got traded to the Jazz from the Grizzlies. That's pretty big. They said that Giannis was going to get traded. He still hasn't. Still hasn't been traded. So we'll see what happens there. It seemed like James Harden might get traded too. That hasn't happened yet, as far as I know. But we'll see. The only other NBA coverage that I had from this week, Paul George got suspended 25 games for drug abuse. No drug abuse. Drug abuse bad. Good riddance.
I do want to update real quick on the NBA Pistons and Nuggets game. There was almost a fight during this game. So I'm just looking at the first quarter reviews.
I like it. But that's all I've got for this week. Garry, I don't know if you've got anything else. Oh, we forgot to talk about the Toledo game. Fuck. We forgot to talk about that. So yeah, the other thing is the other game that we went to down in Toledo was, the K-Wings game was the original plan. That we were only going to do that. We were thinking about going to the zoo or something as well. Great idea to not do that because it was fucking freezing. But anyway, instead we saw that Toledo men's basketball was playing at noon that day. And so we decided to make that our early day activity and go down there and see a game. And see their arena, Savage Arena. They played Ball State. The game was not close at all. Toledo won 73-55. Didn't really give a shit much about the game. Didn't really care about either team. The arena was pretty cool, though. Again, there will be a review coming out about it soon. I think that's coming out. That might have came out today. That might be today's video. So go check that out after you're done here. But the arena was pretty cool. You can hear more of my thoughts. Pretty high tech for what it is. Looked like a prison from the outside. But $25 seats, sit row 6 of the lower bowl. Pretty good stuff. And I got a free foam finger out of it. So there's that. And after that, we went and explored the campus. The campus is pretty cool. Very small, but it was nice. The football stadium looks cool. Kind of want to see a game there now.
I'll only go if it's a Western Michigan Toledo game.
But yeah, it was pretty nice stuff. Had fun at the game. Now Garry can show off whatever he got. I got a pin. I think Garry got the same pin. It's just the Toledo logo. I didn't bring it down. Yeah, I got that same pin. So.
And then you saw just a minute ago, because I forgot, got a patch. It ain't gonna go on anything. It's just going to be there. I might put it on if I get a Toledo walleye or whatever jersey, but till then, this ain't going to be put on anything. It's an iron on, so I mean, you can iron on it. So,
Nice.
but $16 for that. 16
for a patch, Garry. Why did you spend that?
I didn't think it was that much, honestly. I thought it was like at least $8. And then that was going to be, this pin would be like $3.
The pin was like $7, I think. I don't remember.
I have to look up.
That's a shame, Garry. I'm ashamed of you.
Oh,
Anyway,
'cause I would have never bought it.
but anyways, that was fun. We went antiquing while we were down there as well. I also forgot to bring it down, but I got a Ron Gardenhire bobblehead for $12. It was the Game of Thrones themed Ron Gardenhire bobblehead. That was pretty cool. Now me and Garry are planning on heading back down to Toledo once the weather warms up and the Mud Hens are playing. We're planning on going down there to see a Mud Hens game. We'll probably go back to that antique store when we go back down there, because there was some other cool stuff that they had.
There ain't no probably.
There was that. I really, really want that Jeff Green bobblehead that we saw, but no box, and it was a little pricey for not having a box. But
And I wanted that Wheeling Nailers jersey that they had because
actually, you should have gotten that
What?
Jeff Gordon bobblehead. Actually, we should get that.
I should have. I know exactly where I would have put it too.
But
You
we'll
can't tell
there.
over there. You can see I have lots of bobbleheads.
So, we'll definitely be going back there. So there'll be more stuff from Toledo at that time. But, that's all I had. I don't know if you have anything else this week, Garry.
Nope.
Okay. Well, then that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Live, Laugh, Left podcast. Next week, we will finally talk about the Clash. We'll talk about the Super Bowl, and we'll go over other game results, including the game that's going on right now. The last update, Pistons are now 40-30 early in the second quarter, so that should be quite fun. Hopefully they can hang on to win. We'll find out next week. But otherwise, we'll talk about any other crazy stuff that comes up, including this crazy DK Metcalf lawsuit as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more stuff on the Pringleson YouTube channel and other stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.